everyone. I wanted to show you how to make some bows for your future projects today. So the first one is one that I call the layered bow because it's going to have two colors. We're going to start with a little bit of fall ribbon, which I have two cut pieces, and I just thought I would just start with this one to show you. You can make it any size you want, and so what you want to do is take your ribbon and fold it over. This one has, on one side, it's not as pretty as it is on the other side. And so the not so pretty side you want down. And we're just going to take, and I'm going to fold it over, and I'm going to hold it right here and leave a little bit of leeway here. And then I'm going to take and make another loop on this side. And then I'm going to do that again. And I'm just going to keep looping it back and forth right now. And you can scrunch it, you don't, it doesn't, well, actually I'm going to leave it flat for now. Right, and we're going to go back this way. And we're going to make 3 loops. So that's the third loop on that side and the third loop on this side. And then we are going to use a chip clip. And I'm going to clip it and set it to the side. And then we're going to use another color, and this color we're going to use on the bottom. And so we want it to be a little bit bigger of loops than the top is. And so I'm going to just kind of eye it a little bit. We still want to start it where you're holding it, and this is the halfway point. And so I want to see if it's going to be a big enough loop. We'll make it a little bigger. This way. So as you can see, one of them will be, the red one will be a little bit bigger than the colored one. As you can tell, it'll show from below. So now we want to loop this one 3 times. So we got one loop. This is our second loop. And this is our third loop. So now that we have that together, we are going to cut this down here. We're going to leave a little bit of leeway because we are going to put it together, like tie it together with a wire, and so we want to make sure that there's enough there so it doesn't fall out. So now I'm going to stack them on top of each other, and I'm going to put them in the chip clip. And then I'm going to grab this other piece that I have, and I'm going to make just one little loop. That I can put in the middle of that. So I'm going to take it like that, a little loop, and I'm going to cut it here, and I'm going to add that to the center. Okay. So far it looks like this. So now we're going to take a piece of wire, which I cut a piece of wire here, but you can use different kinds of wire. You can get this at the craft store. They have different gauges of it. You can use pretty much any size. The thinner ones are probably easier to work with than the thick ones. They also have what is called chenille stems or pipe cleaners. Yeah, you can use pretty much anything like that. So now what you want to do is take it and put it through the middle of your little loop right here. And then you're going to bring it halfway through, and then you're going to bring it down here, and we are going to tie it off. And we're going to try to tightly tie it off so that it can't fall apart on us. So let's see how we can do this. Okay, and then we are going to leave the wire at the bottom. It's long wire, but that way you can put it on projects when we're done. So we're going to take the bottom one, the red one, and try to fluff it out. You might want to twist it to do that a little bit and pull it out. Take this side, twist it, and then pull it the other way. Okay. And then we're going to do it on the other side also. We're going to take the ribbon, twist it a little, pull it out. And we're going to do it on this side also. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're just shaping it however you want to shape it. And then we're going to try that with our middle ones. We're going to just fluff them out. We could just fluff them out this, like towards the side. You're just fluffing things out like it. Take them so they're not layered on top of each other and just fluffing them out a little bit. Fluffing this side out, fluffing this side out. Side out, side out. And if you keep playing and working around with it a little bit, pull it a little, pull it a little. Do this side again. It's pretty crazy. You're trying to just spread them out so you can see both colors underneath. And once you get them fluffed, see, we're starting to form a pretty bow. It takes some maneuvering sometimes. So this one obviously is for a fall package, or not especially a package, but even a fall project. So if you have a basket or you're making a wreath, this can go on it. So that's our layered bow. As you can see both colors. And then you just use the wire and you attach it. Right now all I have here is a Christmas wreath, but as you can see how pretty it would look on a wreath. Okay, so that's our first bow. That was our layered bow. And now we are going to try, let's see, a two-tone bow. And what this one is you're going to take two different kinds of ribbon. So I have one here with cute little snowmen, and then I have one with snowflakes. And I thought that would go together very cute. And what we're going to do is put them together, just one right over the top of the other. As you can see, one side is pretty and one side has absolutely no prettiness to it. So we're going to take that, and however big we want our bow, okay, I'm gonna just let this fall on the ground. Sorry, Chloe, my dog's down there. Okay, so what we're going to do is take it and we're going to leave some of it hanging down, but we want to make some loops. So this is our first loop. I'm going to make it about this size. Then we want our second loop to be about the same size. And we're going to do this 5 or 6 times, 5 or 6 loops. So far we have, this is 3. This one is 4. And this one is 5. I think that should be good. We'll stop at 5. And now we're just going to cut this off right here, even with the other one, so they're pretty even. Now we're going to take another piece of the wire, and we're going to wrap that around, and we are going to make it as tight as we can, twisting. We're going to try to make it as tight as we possibly can, because we do not want it to come apart while we're trying to fluff up our little bows. And again, we will leave the bottom part on so we can attach it to something like a wreath. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to separate them all like this. You can turn them different ways if you want. we're gonna do the snowman on one side, snowflakes on the other, and then we're gonna alternate. Do the snowflakes, twist it around a little bit, do the snowmen, twist them around a little bit. Then we're gonna do the opposite again. Snowflake on this side, snowman on this side. Then we're going to take snowflake on the opposite side, just twist it around and fluff it up. Snowman on the other side. Twist it around and fluff it up. And last one, snowflake and snowman. So then what you're gonna do is just really play with it. Play with it until it looks pretty. You wanna fluff them up, make sure they stay alternated. And you bring the snowman one over this way. Snowflake, snowflake, come this way, snowman, snowflake, snowman, snowflake. As you can see, it's forming a bow. And then what we want to do, because we want this bow to go onto a wreath. So we want it fluffy, fluff it out, fluff it out. If you want your snowmen facing that way, then you want to turn your wreath that way. Since we have something that has snowmen like that on it, some of them won't be facing the correct way, but at least some of them will be right side up instead of all of them being upside down. And then for your bow on the bottom, you're going to also want to fluff that. We're trying to turn that kind of over this way, just so that they're all facing out, because you want it to show your pretty pattern. So you might have to twist them a little bit to get them showing really pretty. Okay. Then the other thing we'd like to do here is you want to take each one and maybe cut it on an angle like this. There's another thing called ducktail, which you can do here, but this time we're going to do it like this. So they all get cut on an angle. Two of them one way, two of them the other way. Okay, and then you really fluff them. You can make them fat like this, a little fatter. Fatten them up, fatten them up. It'll fill it out better if you just kind of stretch them out, fatten it up. That one. That one. Okay. Can you see it coming together as a pretty little bow? Okay, and then I will show you how it looks on the wreath. You just kind of maneuver it around how you want it. Becoming a beautiful little bow. Alright, so then if you were to put it on your wreath, you want to use your wire in the back and hang it on your wreath. And see how pretty it is? You just stretch these out a little, just the way you want them. And there you go. Okay, so that was our two-tone bow. We're going to set that one off to the side. And now we are going to do, this one is what I would call a scrap bow. What I did was I took a bunch of the different colors that I had and I just cut them. They're not all the same length exactly. As you can see, there's this one, one of them shorter than the other one, as you can see. So what you want to first do, I did two of each. What you want to first do, these two, like if they're the same color, they're the same size because that's just how I cut them. But we want to go ahead and cut these into what they call a ducktail. And what that is you fold it in half and you cut it like a V. And then when you unfold it, it looks like this. So you want to do that on both sides. Fold it into a V. Okay, so that's those two. And then you want to do the same with each color that you have. So we're going to fold it in half, cut a V, fold it in half, cut a V all the way through everything. So there we go, those two. We're going to take these two with the snowman, fold it in half, and cut a V. We're going to fold it in half, and cut a V. Set those to the side. We're going to do these two. Oops, I'm dropping them over here. All right, so fold it in half. We're going to cut a V. That one didn't come out very pretty. Let's try that again. Okay. Could just be my scissors aren't doing such a great job. Okay, so this one we're going to fold it in half once again. Cut a V. Set that one to the side. And our last design is the snowflake. Cut it, fold it in half, cut a V. Fold it in half, and cut a V. Okay, so now we're ready to put it together. So what we're going to do, I'm going to start with the big one, and then I'm just going to alternate. Okay, so we're going to alternate designs. So we'll start with this one. You kind of want to try to find approximately the center and hold it in the center. Okay, so then you want to do this one, approximately the center. Doesn't have to be perfect, approximately. Okay, so that's your red one. We'll do the ho ho ho, approximately the center. We didn't do a snowman yet. Do that one. Okay, so now we're going to start over again, and we're going to use the white one. We'll just do red snowflake. The red with the green holly. The white ho ho ho. And we're going to end on the top with the snowman. Okay, so now what we're going to do, of course, is take another piece of wire, which I'm going to cut off of here. Okay, I have wire cutters with me. If it's thin wire, you can use your scissors, but it can also really mess up your scissors. So it's better to have the wire cutters if you can. All right, so now we're going to wrap the wire around. And we're going to even the wire out. Okay, so we're going to twist it as tight as we can, like we've been doing with the other ones. So you pull it tight, as tight as you can, and you just start twisting. And then you twist for a little bit just to make sure. Okay. So this one's kind of different. You just fluff it out. And this is because you can use this with scraps. If you have a whole bunch of scrap ribbon, that's why I call it the scrap bow, because if you have all kinds of scrap ribbon, you just do this. And if they're relatively close colors, or you could do a rainbow, I mean, it just makes a cute little bow. And I'll show you. We'll take our wreath and we'll put it on here. It's just a different kind of bow. And then you just move them around however you feel you want them. Like you can move it up a little bit, this way, that way, have some hanging down, and there you go. It's just an unusual ribbon, and because they have wire in most of the ribbons, you can kind of fold it down or fold it up or however you want it to fold. So, kind of a different bow. It's like the messy bow. You can make it, for this kind of wreath, we should have maybe made it a little bit shorter. So, anyway, that's that one. All right, let's see what we got now. Okay, we'll put that to the side again, and this one to the side. And then we're going to do this one. This is called, I call it the easy bow. We'll see how easy it is. All right, so what we're doing with this one is we're first going to form, I have a little template here, but just so that it's like my little cheat sheet, so that I can remember how I did this bow. All right, so this one, you're going to take and make a round circle in the center. And then, because this ribbon is the same on both sides, you can just take and start making your loops. So this is going to be the center of your bow, and then I'm going to make loops on the side, just like this. And you want them to be approximately the same on each side. They don't have to be perfect, but approximately. And you're going to do that, let's see, about 4 times, 5 times. You could do it either, it matters how big you want your bow. But I think we'll do it, well, let's see how much, let's see if we have enough to do it. Yeah, we'll have enough to do it as many times as we want. So we will do it 5 times. There we go, this is number 3. Just keep holding it in the center. Number 4, hold it in the center. Number 4, okay. Another number 4, we'll do it one more time. And number 5, and number 5. Okay, so now you want to add enough ribbon so that you can make your little tails. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make it all this same ribbon. We don't have to cut it and do anything to it. We're going to take the same ribbon and we're gonna make a big loop like this. Okay, so now you have all your bows in your big loop. And then you're gonna make a smaller loop inside that. Okay, so now you have your big loop, your small loop, and now you'd be able to cut this off. And then you take a piece of wire and you wire this together, like how I have here. So I'm just going to use this one now. I'll leave that there. Okay, so now what we want to do is take your wire and make it really tight, like we've been doing in all of them. I'm going to make a very tight one. Okay, so I'm going to twist it around, making it tight, making sure the whole thing is very tight. Okay. Okie doke. All right. So now what we're doing with this is we're going to fluff this up into a bow. So we're going to go like this, we're going to go like this, we're going to take this one over here, just keep fluffing it up till it looks like the kind of bow you want it to look like. Okie dokie, so fluff it up, fluff it up, fluff it up. And then we go to the other side and we're going to fluff it up, fluff it up. Fluff. So partly you want to also smash it down and make it fat like that. So at first you're moving it around and then you're kind of widening them to try to make them look pretty and big and full. Okay, that should be good. There we go. And then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take this bottom part, and first you'll start with the big one, and you're going to bring it down tight like this. And then you're going to cut it. And you're going to do the same with the middle one. And then you're going to go back, and whether you want the dovetail or if you want to just so you can either do the dovetail which if you remember was this one. You can cut it like this, or you can just trim them up like this. 1, 2, and then this one would be the opposite. It would go this way. 1, 2. And now you have another kind of bow to use. And so you can see how that looks on there. Very pretty. And so I'm hoping that this video helped you. And if it did, and you're happy, please like and subscribe, and I'd be happy to see